Hello and welcome back to this second and hopefully final part of making this door. Now I've decided, just to show you where we've got to first. I was going to keep on going and then I thought, no, turn on the camera, Kirsten. Oh, by the way, my name's Kirsten. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. So I've put a frame around this door and I was going to do things. I've got a different plan for the back, and then I suddenly thought, I've got all this wet strength tissue paper that I use for drop paper when I'm spraying, and actually it has that kind of fantasy feeling to it. And so what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it round this door and give it an idea that it's a fantasy doorway you're going through. We'll see, shall we? So at the moment I'm just tearing up bits of it. The thing with this wet tissue paper is it doesn't like tearing that way so much. It likes this, it's got a grain to it, and it likes turning one way but not so much the other way. So I'm going to tear some more of this up because I realised I really should have torn it up before I started. And I'm just going to continue doing the tearing up, and then I'll be back once I've done all that and I've got a pile of bits to stick on. Okay, so I've torn up, oh dear, I've torn up my bits, and this outdoor Mod Podge was finally finished, but I've just made a right mess of that. Oh, dearie me. But I found in the back of the cupboard when I was going for a new glue stick that I had some dishwasher Mod Podge. It's a great big thing. I must have bought it when it was on offer or bought it by mistake, because I've no idea what you'd even use dishwasher Mod Podge for. Because anyway, I thought we'll give that a try because we need to. I'm trying to use up supplies rather than buying yet more. And if it's something, so this is maybe a bit of a risk, but Dephemerember is all about taking risks. So we'll see if this does it. I hadn't used Mod Podge at all when I was doing that first one, so I'm just gonna, but it wasn't sticking round the corner very well because I was. So let's just bung on a coat. I wasn't bothered about the fact this wasn't very neat because I knew I was going to, well, I thought originally I was going to do something else. I thought I was going to make it into, oh, I've dripped through there. I need to put something down to catch drips to stop that happening. Oh, I can't remember what I was saying then. I hope you had a nice weekend. I know I started this on Friday, but I've had a very busy weekend, and today's Monday and I've not even got this finished. Never mind. Well, I've been thinking about the prompt. I'll do another video on that because people, I've got the fabric round the wrong way, so the fabric's ended up being in the way. Oh dear. So I'll move you over a wee bit. Is that better? You can see me making my mistakes then. The trouble is, of course, because this is wet strength, I don't know if you've used this, it's brilliant for doing jelly printing. Fabulous for doing jelly printing. The problem is, when you're doing something like this, it doesn't soak through. It just supposes something to do with why it's wet strength. Let's start getting some bits on here. Now, I need to leave that to dry. Okay, clearly because that's dishwasher glue, it doesn't wash off very easily. I want to show you, before I do the other side of the door, I want to show you what I've done this side of the door. Effie said he wanted his door to be a secret door when he found out I was cutting apart the journal. So I decided to do a secret door that you see in these stately homes. And what they have is they have a wallpapered room, and there is a door in it. But the other thing they do on these doors to make sure that people don't think they're doors is they hang pictures on them. So we've got Effie's ancestry. Got somebody from the kind of Georgian period. We've got Victorian Effie in his top hat. And we've got a Cavalier Effie, like the Laughing Cavalier, that famous picture. So I think rather than putting them on the door, I'm going to put these two on the side of the wall, and so then you see the door then opens up. Oop, it's caught somewhere, there we go. The door then opens up like that. But I need to put these on before I then deal with the door on the other side. So the door from this side is going to look like, that wasn't catching earlier, it's maybe just as it settles it'll be fine. So this will all be stuck down on the inside of the door, and you'll just see that, and then the door will be there to come through. This just puts down a layer of glue, Kirsten, and there we go, that's that. So I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'll see you back once it has done just that. Here we go, final finished journal. We now have our journal thicker, and hopefully it will now last to the end of Dephemerember. We have 2 spine dangles. That one's kind of a bit off-scriff. Whether that means I'll have do two separate dangles, or have a dangle that goes through both hoops, that's yet to be decided. And I'm glad I put this one down here just because it's something different, and Dephemerember is about doing things that we wouldn't normally do. It's a bit different, but I'm thinking it's going to be quite a short spine dangle, that one, so I think I'm more likely to take a spine dangle through both hoops. And part of my wish is I'd done it up the top, and part of my wish is I'd just moved that one and done it in the middle, but we'll see what happens. As Louisa and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, who are the hosts of Dephemerember, keep saying, you know, Dephemerember is about exploring things, pushing your boundaries, and this has certainly done that for me. If we come round to the back, the fascinating thing, of course, is that this fabric that I made has ended up being exactly the right size for the thickness of the spine. And if we come round to the back, this is where a continuation, the old fabric finished here. But actually this continuation of fabric works for me. It's got a bit of the blue there, and then it's got a bit of this, I forgot what this is called, Streets or something it's called. It's Tim Holtz one. And then let's just take off the magnets. I've added a bit of Lottie's because I didn't have Lottie's bag of goodies, my swap partner, until after I'd done my journal. So it's quite nice now to have a bit of something that she's given on the front cover as well. Well, it's on the side cover, or whatever you want to call it, but it's on the cover. And I just felt that this fabric kind of tied in with the rest of it. So let's go back to the front. I've put the magnets inside there. I decided not to use the the buckles I had before, just because it didn't work the same way. I wasn't happy. I might get the sewing machine out and sew that. I might just leave it flapping. I don't know. But anyway, that's it done. So let's have a look inside. And inside, the front is very much like it was before. You get a wee hint of what's going on here, but it doesn't look a lot different. We've got our prompt page, a page with opening, which wasn't supposed to be a prompt at all, but hey ho. And it was FP's head opening and all the ideas coming out. Butterfly and 3 torn things. Salvaged birds. Selfie in a bubble. And there's me at a party a long time ago. And this lovely balloon. I love this balloon. Clock and wings. The bat Christmas tree for Christmas meets Halloween. Halloween meets Christmas. We've got the jigsaw puzzle for Kinzuki houses. We've then got the book, which is the saga of the great Effie. And the bubbles, the balloons this time have been used as eggs. So those balloons have become very useful thing. You can see and hear all about the saga if you go to the post on that. Then on Thursday last week, which was when we put this one, which is the freedom for the robots, because the mushroom robots don't want to do, oh, you're tidying up in your craft room any longer. And so they declared freedom. And this was when I put this in, I realised that I was going to have, oh, I've bent that over there. I was going to have an issue with space. And it wasn't so much thickness, because it would have gradually, gator mouth would have gone, but it's getting things in and out. The journal was becoming very difficult, because when I did that, then you can see that actually that's where the difficulty lies. And I caught my fingers at one point trying to shut it again. And see, I'm going to do the same thing again now, aren't I, if I'm not careful. This was why I decided I needed to do something about my journal. And this is what I did. This is the fantasy door, because Effie said, I want it to be a secret door. So we've got a fantasy door. I'll just bring this closer for you. And you've got to get through the fantasy flowers to get to the fantasy door. And this is with all this drop wet tissue paper. I've made this door and then splattered it with some white and some copper splatters to give that idea of fantasy. And then I was going to put this handle on it, and then I decided it's less of a secret when you've got a handle on it. So I decided it didn't need a handle, because actually all you needed to do was push. Once you discovered the door, all you need to do was push to open it and go through into the next part of the journal, where we have yesterday's prompt of plaid and polka dots, and the other secret door on this side of the new journal, which is like they have in the houses where they wallpaper a wall and then a door is in that wallpapered wall, so you don't know. And we've got the ancestors on the wall, a Georgian ancestor and a Victorian ancestor and a laughing cavalier ancestor. And then the rest of the journal will continue along this, and there's my back page of Effie being dreamed of, arrived in time, and my page dedicated to Lottie, my swap buddy. Oh, and this bit of carpet here is actually a bit of fabric that Lottie sent as well. So Lottie's managed to get herself on this door. Some of these flowers are hers and some of these flowers are my own. So she's on the door as well. So this is my new journal, which is still my old journal. And tomorrow I need to think about what goes on this next page, and I need to also think about trying not to be too bulky, because I don't want to end up with the journal being too full, even now I've expanded it. But we'll see what happens when we do Nature's Treasure tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me, and remember, keep crafting.